Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, guys, let's just breathe this out. Let's just breathe this out because, yes. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. It's a lot that you have been through, a lot. And whatever it is that you've been going through, it's weighed heavily on you. It's something that has been very, very difficult. You've been trying your darndest, and I mean darndest, to see the light, to see the silver lining. You've been trying so hard. And now you're kind of at a point where it's like, what am I even trying to accomplish? What good is any of this? My effort, my energy, all of that wasted? No, boo, it's not wasted. It's not wasted. You've been going through the process. Whatever this process is, it's leading towards um, an amazing moment of transformation. Don't give up now. You are at the finish line. When I asked what this reading was going to be about, um, it was that message to not give up now. You're at the finish line, it's almost done. Why stop now? After you've already invested so much of your time, your energy, your effort, you're going to give up now? Right at the very end? Right when everything is about to come to fruition? No, no, don't give up. So let me just get a couple more cards. You can't give up. Don't give up. Don't do it. Don't give in to the frustration. Don't allow yourself to believe the words that are coming from the spaces of insecurity, coming from the spaces of frustration, because this is something that has required a massive investment of your existence. No, don't give up now. You are so close. So close. Now is not the time to give up. I don't know that you should ever give up, you know? My volume went low. How about now? My energy keeps fluctuating tremendously. I think everything that needs to happen, um, everything that needs to happen is definitely right there. It is at the cusp. You are right there. I cannot emphasize that enough. Um, as I was at the gym, that was the message that kept replaying over and over and over. This message of you are right there. You are at the cusp. Do not give up. Do not give in. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You know, when you are in a very toxic type environment, toxic relationship, toxic whatever, I've found that what ends up happening is it's right at the very end, right before you regain your freedom, your autonomy, your sovereignty. That's when the oppressor, they wild out. That's when they go extra hard. That is when they go out of their way to try and crush you. You're going to let that happen? I would like to think you would say no immediately. No, no, I will not allow that to happen. And me bringing this point up, I would like to think that it's causing you to realize, like, okay, it's not that I'm ready to give up. It's that I didn't realize that I'm right there at the end, and whoever I'm dealing with, they recognize that I'm at the end of this, and they're giving it their all. They want to get me back into a space of submission, subversion, a space where they feel like they have power, they feel they can dominate. Hell no. Hell no. Don't let that. Do not allow that. Do not let that. Do not agree to that in any way, shape, or form at any level. At any level. Okay. So, yep. Yep. Amen to that. Okay. Okay. Ooh, this is a conflict like you wouldn't believe. Um, I'm going to claim this reading. I'm going to claim this reading for myself. I'm going to also pull some cards from a third deck just so that I get a richness of understanding. I'm going to claim this reading. Even though I'm seeing a lot of conflict here, I trust and I know all conflict that I experience will always end in my favor because I always stand on the side of truth, justice, and I exist in a space of gnosis. I think that's a very powerful statement. I think that's a very powerful declaration, a very powerful declaration of my understanding of myself. And I hope that if you're not right there with me in that space of understanding yourself, of understanding that everything always ends in your favor, that you will very soon, very quickly join me in that space of just knowing that everything will end in your favor. So, whatever you're dealing with, it is a situation where the passion is upside down. This is something where an individual or a thing, maybe it's a corporation, I'm not sure, but they take a lot of pleasure in creating havoc, in creating struggle. Um, this is not something or someone that you're going to be able to reason with. This is not something or someone that is able to have clarity in how erroneous, how malignant and intentionally malicious their behavior is. That doesn't matter. I think if we allow ourselves to reframe the way we are seeing this circumstance that we've been dealing with, there was no avoiding it. You've been dealing with it. You might as well become empowered by it. That's my logic always. If I have to deal with it, then hell yeah, I'm going to use this to empower myself. When was the last time you took control of your life and your circumstance in that way? Rather than in some way, shape, or form, unwillingly and sometimes willingly seeing yourself as the victim. I firmly believe anything I go through, everything I go through, it is to teach me something powerful about myself and to build on my existing knowledge of what I'm capable of overcoming, how powerful I am, how intentional my choices can be. Intentional living is powerful. It is very, very powerful. So what you're dealing with is something, someone who has no ethics, no morals, just let this be the very thing that pushes you further down your path. Never shrink in the face of a challenge. Never shrink. Instead, pause. Take a good look at what you are being presented. What are the opportunities that soul is inviting you to consider? Is this about personal growth? Is this about boundaries? Is this about recognizing the patterns so that you don't continue to repeat these patterns in the future? I mean, there's so many different things that soul is presenting to you for any given circumstance. If you allow yourself to pause and recognize what is being presented, man, it becomes a really powerful opportunity for growth, healing, forward movement. There's a lack of balance. Whoever this person, whatever this circumstance, they are very, very passionate. This upside down passion, they are very, very passionate about creating imbalance in your life. That's what weak people do. That's what weak people do. We call it what it is. It is you witnessing weakness in another person, someone who wants to shame you, shut you down, try and force their views upon you. Those are the behaviors of a lesser, weaker consciousness. And no, it's not you accusing, it is you observing from a space of neutrality and calling it what it is. And people are not going to like that, right? People are not going to like that. Um, the past 2 days, I've had two people, or 3 days. I don't know how many days. I have no sense of time. Past couple days, I've had a couple people just comment some really rude stuff. Typically, my team will just delete it. If it's bad enough, they'll go ahead and they'll be banned. New policy. You want to showcase to the world what a shitbrick you are? Let's leave the comment up. That's not my embarrassment. That's not my embarrassment. Let us showcase to the world who and how you are. It's a public post. You are commenting on something that is publicly visible. I am done protecting people from their own stupidity, rudeness, lack of compassion, lack of consideration, and just ignorance, flat out ignorance. Right? I'm not even offended. I'm just kind of like, you're not very intelligent. And that comes from a space of observation. You're not very intelligent. One comment was, live streaming is not a job. Oh, why do I get taxed for it? Why do I get a 1099? Not a job. Okay. That's someone who's trying to diminish what they know to be powerful. I don't care what your opinion is. You sound stupid. Yeah, I left it up. Leave it up. Let people see the stupidity of others. You are at the finish line. That's what you need to focus on. That is what blissful. My fingers were itching to respond. Did it need a response? Because I didn't respond. My attention, my time, my words. These are things that I'm growing in my understanding of. My understanding of the sacredness, the power of it, the value, the richness. Not everyone's worthy of that. And some people who exist in a space of a weak mindset will say, oh my God, this girl is so full of herself. Who should I be full of? You? Your insecurities? Should I be full of your programs that keep you very small? Because I've been there. I've lived that. Most of my life, I've lived that. Hell, I've been so ashamed of who I am, despite never intentionally hurting people, never plotting on people. Never. Not a single time. Yeah. I'm done living that way. There are people who have not yet gone through what they need to go through in order to rise to the level that you are now at, a level that is beyond where you existed before. And because of that, you're still kind of not quite comfortable there yet. You still need time to acclimate. You still feel a little bit awkward in this new space. That's okay. That's okay. That's part of the process. And when you're in that space, to ensure your commitment to your growth, oh, soul will bring all of the nasty, as much nasty as it takes to poke you and poke you and poke you and get you to maybe question, am I being this way or that? Are you? You know yourself. Are you? Or are you simply speaking your value at this point, which makes people who want to take advantage of you uncomfortable? Because now it's kind of hard to take advantage of you if you know what you're worth and what you deserve, right? They'll accuse you of things that, oh, this is a good one. The accusation of holding a grudge. You mean having standards? Having standards? I didn't realize that was holding a grudge, right? Being upset, rightfully so, about something that was done to you. Um, I didn't realize that was holding a grudge. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have Asperger's. I'm on the autism spectrum, and I see things in their naked truth. It's very difficult for me to function within the parameters that society sets. It's very difficult for me, dang near impossible, for me to be politically correct. Why? Because oftentimes what's involved in politics is lies, niceties that are not rooted in truth. So that's very difficult for me. It's very, very, very difficult for me. So when I say I'm upset about something, that means something really bad happened. It's hard to upset me. So when I'm upset, I have a right to be upset. I have a right to take as long as I need to process why I feel that way. This is part of your process. You're at the finish line, processing life, processing what happened, processing the ways in which your kindness, your compassion, your grace, your patience was severely taken advantage of by a situation, a person, a company. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You're at the finish line. I would say keep processing. And for many of us, because we're never allowed to process, um, once we finish crying about it, because we're overwhelmed, the emotions overflow by way of tears. Once we stop crying, we think we've healed it. And have we? Or have we simply released the excess that makes it impossible for us to properly process what has happened? But because we think, well, we're done crying, we're done with it. We're not allowed to process now because, I mean, get over it. So we shelve it. And that's how we end up with an entire internal warehouse of other people's sins that we carry inside us. How many people have sinned against you, have betrayed your trust, have exploited some beautiful aspect of you? Is that holding a grudge? Well, maybe if people gave you the opportunity, gave you the permission, oh, that makes me cringe, gave you the permission to process life, you wouldn't, quote unquote, hold a grudge, right? I mean, it's a thing of, are you still okay with someone else telling you how to live? And if you are, why are you okay with that? What is okay about that? I mean, I think about it. The people who try to tell me how to live are not the people who support me, who protect me, who provide the sacred space for me to process life. I'm a very sensitive person. But here's the caveat. Because I'm Piscean, right? But I also have Capricorn for my moon and Capricorn for my Venus. I'm very sensitive by way of my Piscean sun, but I have to actually care about you for your opinion to matter to me. Thank God for the Capricorn in my chart. Because if it wasn't for that, I'm sure that life would have wrecked me. I'm sure life would have embittered me. Holding a grudge. Wow. Huh. I'm at the finish line of that lesson. It's not holding a grudge when it hasn't turned me bitter. I'm still publicly visible, still willing to help, still offering the kindness that is at my core. Holding a grudge. People who hold grudges, and it's not that nobody ever holds a grudge. It's more that you need to make sure you're not improperly labeling yourself just because a person outside of you who has no idea of your history, what you have lived through, your actual character is telling you something as though they know you. You're at the end zone. Are you going to stop before you cross that line into the end zone? Are you going to pause and allow someone who has every intention to tackle you to the ground and prevent you from crossing the line? Are you going to wait for that? Or are you simply going to keep focused on what it is you need to do? You're at the finish line. You've put in all the work already. If you're afraid, you have a guardian. You have something that is protecting you, looking out for you, something that is encouraging you to keep going. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to allow yourself the time, the space? My hair is crazy. It's because it's been under a hat at the gym. Let's go ahead and put the hat back on. Are you going to allow yourself the time and the space to figure out what needs to be figured out so that you can continue with your journey? Continue with whatever it is that you are in the process of bringing to fruition, right? So, whatever this opposition is, you're at the finish line. It is something that wants to take your ability to create away. They want to flip your foundation in reverse. They want to make you completely upside down in what it is you're trying to do for yourself. And they don't want to be pushed away. They refuse to agree to the banishment. Does any of that matter? It only matters if you allow it to matter, because guess what? Soul is saying contain that. Package it up and leave it on the curb. Put it in a trash bag because it's absolute basura. All of these attempts to sidetrack your progress is garbage. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. Do not allow it. Do not consent to that. Not even passively. No, absolutely not. Make a decision right now. Do you want to finish off whatever this is that is being phased out of your life? Do you want to finish it off? Are you ready for the next part of your life? Because if you are ready, start acting like it. Keep pushing. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. So, okay, I'm going to show this to you guys because I am kind of proud of myself. I love it. I love it. I've been struggling with my composition. For those of you who are new to me, I had previously shared that it is my goal to do a figure competition, a bodybuilding competition, right? It gives me an actual something to work towards so that I can continue with my health journey. My health journey was started because of the fact that um, I went through several different factors that very seriously affected my health, threw all my hormones out of whack, and very negatively impacted my health. So here, last November, I got very sick, and in getting very sick, my body ate up all my muscle. It ate it all up, lost quite a few pounds, primarily of muscle. And I've been working really hard to get that back, like really hard. And there were points where I didn't know if I wanted to continue. It was hard. It was hard for me to stay focused. It was hard for me to stay committed. I was at the finish line of a specific part of that journey, the undoing of the disease that was placed into my body because of all the things that were happening. And now look, I got my hammy hocks back. They're not huge. They're not huge. No, but I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing progress. And in my little tiny victory, my little tiny, tiny victory, I'm further renewed. I am further renewed. All of my attempts to control specific aspects in a micromanaged way, no more of that. No more of that. So I have my lats popping out, right? My lats are starting to pop out like bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. And then I'm getting my quads. I'm building my inner thighs. I will never have kinkles as much as I want some. I will never. But I'm getting a little bit of calf, little bit, little bit. I'm loving it. No more hip dip, none, right? There are things that I wanted for myself that I know I will never have. Falling into alignment with a space that allows me to love myself as I am. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I was thinking while I was at the gym. The leanest part of me is my butt. The leanest, I'm not even joking, the leanest part of my body is my buttocks and my thighs. Ain't that something? Right. And it's always been something that I wanted. Large or larger thighs and badonkadonk. Soft, jiggly. I like that. I will never have that. I won't. That's the leanest part of me. No matter how much weight I gain, that is the leanest part of me. I will not gain there no matter what. I just won't. So what do I need to do? I need to love myself enough to accept how I am, not settle for it, but love that when I go to lean out for my competition, I don't need to worry about those parts at all. At all. I don't need to worry about that at all. That will be very lean. That might be the very thing that helps me to win the competition. What I need to focus on are the parts of me that need more of my attention. I'm at the finish line of this mindset that causes me to covet being something that I'm not. I will never be that. I will never have an apple bottom. But I tell you, I got a half cut honeydew. I got a half cut honeydew now. There's a little half cut honeydew. It's not a big one, but it can flex like a mofo. Oh yeah. No, that's okay. That's okay. Allowing myself to accept who I am, how I am. And this extends beyond just the gym. This is happening in every single aspect of my life. The other day, I was telling my social media manager, girl, don't, don't put, don't put, don't put that video from today up. Don't publish that as a podcast. I just, you know, yeah, someone irritated me and I just don't want to put that up. And she basically told me, like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Basically, you were exerting boundaries and I didn't see anything wrong with it. And it's like, you know what? Go ahead, put it up. Put it up. Let me deal with the emotions that come along with accepting who I am, right? There are different components that I didn't share as to why I was triggered by this person during that specific live stream. That there is a history there of how many accounts have already been banned, and that, like, they consistently say things that really just irk me on multiple platforms. Do I need to explain that? No, I don't. Just like I don't need to be embarrassed about being a real person with real standards that I uphold. I'm at the finish line of this lesson. And I'm learning and seeing beautiful things about myself and my progression through this. And I hope you're having the same or similar type of experience. It's been a difficult go. It has. It's been a very difficult go simply because of the fact that this is a lifetime of programming being undone. Not just for me, but for all of us. This is a lifetime of programming being undone. It's being undone. Okay. It's something that um, is necessary for you to get to the next part of whatever it is that you need to get to. You just, you need to allow yourself. You need to give yourself permission to continue forward, recognizing the things that need to be recognized while still continuing forward. Card number 27, receiving. Allowing yourself to receive whatever needs to be received, whether it's confirmation of your growth or confirmation of the ways in which you are reverting back. Um, hmm, what is it that you need to receive? Hmm, you need to receive the truth about yourself and your process. You're not listening. This card says listening for truth, but it's in reverse. So what's that telling us? That you're not listening. At least some of you. Um, you're not listening. Maybe you're not listening because you don't think these messages you don't think these messages come from your highest level of divinity. Maybe you're assuming that these messages are coming from insecurity, that these messages are coming from a space of pettiness, out of hand ego. Okay, let's take a moment here. I want you to be honest with yourself. Has your ego ever really been out of hand? Like, be honest. We're not here to trick you into something so that you can be attacked. No, like, just be honest with yourself for a moment. Has your ego ever really been out of hand? Really take a good hard look at the life you have lived. Has your ego ever been out of hand? We're all going to have different answers for this. I'm looking at my life and it's like Hmm. I don't know that it has. I don't know that I have conducted myself in a way that I was intentional in an attempt to climb on other people, use them as my stepping stones. I've had some instances where I lost my inhibition and finally spoke openly about my awareness of the degree of power I have. Um, was that an out of control ego though? Because I look back and I'm like, I mean, I didn't even want to say those things. I was really just following instruction from soul, where it's this thing of they need to hear you make this declaration so they can make their own declarations. And my insecurities convinced me temporarily that, oh my God, that sounded so ego based. But I have an awareness that my ego is actually functioning opposite from the average person's, meaning when my ego is out of hand and it flares, it causes me to feel much smaller and much more insignificant than even a neurotypical person who has absolutely no awareness of their divinity and their power over themselves. So, why do we continue to accuse ourselves of being the most horrendous person we know? Have you ever noticed that? That you treat yourself as though you are the worst person you know. Yikes. Yikes. You see, after I corrected that very distorted view of myself and everyone I come across, I began to realize as I observed that the quote unquote horrendous people, the worst ones, they're never self regulating. They're never auditing themselves, their thoughts, their words, their behaviors. They never do that. It's always everyone else. Everyone else is the issue, right? Everyone else. This is why I'm so vehement in my refusal to allow anyone to censor me, to allow anyone to convince me that I should not speak about my life and my views, what I've lived through. Could you imagine a person who has been highly abusive towards me for several years um, is now pissed off because I'm no longer quietly accepting the abuse? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? And now that I refuse to accept any of that, not from just that person, but from pretty much anyone, I refuse. I will not comply. I will not sit here quietly. I will speak up for myself. And the degree of the severity of what I say is contingent, dependent, directly tied to the degree of your insistence to disrespect me in my space. And then a complete stranger who has no bearing on my life, has not contributed anything to my healing process, is allowed to come in and be like, oh, you're holding a grudge. Am I? Or am I finally just speaking up? And that tells me I'm at the finish line of what it is I've set out to learn, because I'm no longer seeing it in a distorted way. You see, what you want wants you, but it's in reverse. Sometimes what we want wants us, but we refuse to allow it to come in. You want peace? Conduct yourself as though you want that peace. What does that mean, Emmy? Well, when I've established peace in my life and you come along and trying to disrupt that, I will let you know, no, you can't do that here. You could do that over there. You could do that other live streams, but you're not doing it here. Oh my God, Emmy, you can't control other people. Right. I wasn't trying to control other people. I'm trying to control my space that I share with other people. I'm cultivating it. My actions tell others, no, absolutely not. No. You're free to do that, just not here, because this is my space. This space belongs to me. This is my little piece of the virtual world, right? Right? When was the last time you allowed yourself to acknowledge that? That you are allowing other people to dictate to you how to run your life. Would you allow someone to enter your home and tell you that you need to redecorate everything, remodel the house, you need to re-landscape your entire back and front yard because they don't like it? How obnoxious is that? Would you allow a complete stranger to come up to you and be like, "You need to change your clothes. I don't like that. I don't like how that looks. I don't like that color." It's kind of obnoxious when we put it in those terms, right? How about something much more severe to make it even much more polarized and clear as to the offensive nature of someone trying to dictate to you how to be and who to be? You're minding your own business and someone comes up to you. Oh, no, there was a video that I came across. This poor woman. Oh my gosh. This poor woman, her face was completely like black and blue and swollen. Like, oh my God, what happened? Her orbital bone, the eye socket, was broken. Apparently, someone had come up to her and wanted her to put her number in their phone. And she said no. At which point he proceeded to become extremely violent. This is a complete stranger. And I'm like, seeing in the comments, most were very supportive, but there were a few who were like, you should have just put, a fake number in the phone. I'm sorry, what? That's why I put my number in the phone and I just block them immediately as I walk away. I'm sorry, what? What? Oh, no. No, no, no. We need to change what is happening. We are at the finish line of the correction of this upside down world, upside down societies that we live in. Now is a time to push harder, push forward even harder, to refuse to settle. Now is a time for us to take our power back. Take our power back. Take our power back. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Focus on the light. Focus on the light. This is not about toxic positivity. We don't participate in toxic positivity. No. This is about understanding there is a light of truth that lives inside you, the spark of divinity that lives inside you, your personal gift from Creator itself. Focus on that light. Protect that light. Do not allow this world to dim you. Do not allow the distorted beliefs of others to dim your shine because they're offended that you're shiny. They should stop looking. They should absolutely stop looking. They should go mind their own business. Are you their business? See, my logic is my life is nobody's business. If I don't want to share something about my life, I will not. It is my life. It belongs to me. And one time, this is what I love about my husband. People think like, oh, he just let me do whatever the hell I want. For the most part, yes, he does. For the most part, yes, he does. But I remember one time I was being snarky, right? It's totally joking, but totally being snarky. And he asked me a question. I'm like, that's none of your business. And he goes, you are my business. And I was like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm absolutely 100% his business. What happens to me is absolutely his business. My welfare and happiness is his business. Is it anyone else's? Is it anyone else's? For a large portion of my life, I thought it was. And thank God I eventually learned, no, the hell it's not. I don't need to explain anything to anyone. I'm at the finish line for that lesson as well. Quite a few lessons I'm at the finish line for. How do I know this? How do you guys know you're at the finish line for lessons that you are learning? How do you guys know? Do you guys have any ideas of how to tell when you're at the finish line? One of the ways that I can tell is I'm no longer willing to apologize for what I worked so hard to learn. And not only am I not sorry that I've learned this, I'm unwilling to participate to any degree. Absolutely unwilling to participate to any degree. Not sorry, not participating, just carrying forward. Just carrying forward. Been there, done that, F that crap. Been there, done that, F that crap. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. The word wants to be written. That's just an extra step. You don't have to write things down to bring it into form. You simply have to know what you want and do everything that's necessary to make it happen. You're at the finish line. You want to cross that line? Do what needs to happen. Do what needs to be done. Take the steps and get yourself across that line. Right? One of my cousins, super close friends, I was very impressed by her strength. Everyone was cracking up when they were telling the story. It was funny. It was. So years ago, my cousin, she did everything she possibly could to train to do the Nike marathon in San Francisco. I think she did like a half marathon. One of her really close friends had done multiple half or full marathons before. So they like trained for this, and it was one of those things where everyone wanted to do the Nike marathon because you get, I think it was like a Tiffany necklace or something like that. That when you cross the finish line, you got something from Tiffany's. I mean, hey, we all need our motivation. So, you had the option of half marathon or full marathon, and her friend, I believe, had selected the half marathon because if I remember right, she had just finished another marathon several weeks before. Well, during the event, her friend did not see one of the signs where the people who are doing the half marathon are supposed to like turn right or something like that. She didn't see it. She ran right past it. And everyone's kind of wondering, like, where is she? Where is she? Oh, she ran the full marathon. She ran the full marathon. And they were kind of like, why didn't you just quit? And she's like, because I wanted the necklace. Yeah, which, hey, she was motivated. She was motivated. Everyone's cracking up. I'm like, damn, were you okay? Were you okay? My God. She goes, oh, I was so tired. I was like, I had to look up how long is a marathon. And if you guys don't know, San Francisco is built on hills. It's built on hills. It's not flat ground. So it's up and down the hills, up and down the hills, up and down the hills. This poor girl, she did a full marathon. She got that necklace, I believe. Cracked me up. It cracked me up. I'm just like, look at you. Hey. Right? Are you going to stop just because you missed the sign? Or are you going to keep going? What if you're not into Tiffany's, right? I'm not into Tiffany's. Um, what if instead what you get if you cross that finish line is the life of your dreams? Would you do it? Would you do it? Mm. Do you even know what your dream life is like? Have you given yourself permission to dream it up, to allow yourself to recognize what it is you want in a life you don't need a vacation from? Have you? I think you should. I think you should take the time at some point today to really sit and think about what would your dream life be where you didn't need a vacation from it. And I'm not talking about some cliche like, oh, I would be a millionaire, billionaire. Why not be a trillionaire? I mean, it's a dream life, right? Where you would be ridiculously wealthy and have all of these different cars and mansions and compounds and estates and and you would have all of these fancy clothes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an actual dream life. I think my dream life would be doing what sets my heart on fire without having to leave the house. Knowing that whatever makes me feel so much passion would make it possible for all the needs to be taken care of. And I could just be with my family all day. And I can pick up and go if I want, or I can stay at home. I could focus on things that I need to focus on, that I wouldn't have to worry about this or that. And I would just exist in a space of peace. Right? That I would have everything I need to feel whole and happy. Mm. Doesn't that sound so good? Doesn't that just sound like, yeah, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Mm. That's what I have. That's what I have. A life I don't take a vacation from. I don't need a break from it. It's my life. That I willingly show up to work every day because it's what I'm passionate about. and that my children have access to me all day. All day. They have access to their father all day. That neither of us have to leave the house and spend the entire day away. That we are such a close-knit family unit. All my kids are best friends with each other. It's amazing. I exist in a constant state of peace. It's amazing. How did you do that, Emmy? I fought for it. I fought for it. I fought every single part of me that told me I didn't deserve it and that it would never happen. I fought every person who existed as an external reflection of an internally held self-hatred. I fought depression. I fought PTSD. I fought everything that tried to make it an impossible dream. I fought for it. Till now, I fight for it every day. But the fight is no longer inside me. And it's not always something tangible. Sometimes the fight is simply knowing that motherfucker don't need any of your attention. Leave them on red. As a matter of fact, block that shit. No. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I have the standards that I have because that is what I deserve. I'm very particular because I only allow things that support the maintenance of my peace in my life. You constantly come to me with drama, I'm good. Not responding. Then after a while, you're going to be cut off. Because if you can't take the hint, it's time for you to just go away. I'm at the finish line of everything I had to learn, everything I had to go through to become the person I am right now, knowing this is just the starting point of the next part of my life. I'd like to think I'm not the only one in our community that has done everything that needs to be done without realizing that I was doing it. That has stayed aligned and focused on what I need to remain focused on. No, nothing will pull me out of a space of hyperfixation on what I need to do next. Nothing. Nothing. I feel this so deeply that I'm at a point where, no, I will not allow anything to grab my attention in a way that does not further my objective, which is what? An even deeper sense of peace, an even more profound accomplishment, a further ripening of my capacity to serve in the purpose I'm destined to serve in. What does that mean? I don't fucking know. I don't know, but I'm excited to see it unfold. I am excited to see my life unfolding. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know it's going to be beautiful. I do know it's going to be powerful. And I do know there will be a ripple effect through my life and my entire community. It will be a very positive ripple effect. And I will not accept anything that is short of what I feel in my heart has been set aside for me, for us. That's how I know I'm at the finish line. It's not the end of the learning, though. It's simply the end of this cycle of lessons. On to the next. This is almost done. On to the next after this. And then the next and the next and the next. And I welcome all of it, because all of it will be something that will help me to better understand the parts of me that are already being introduced to me right now. The parts of me that soul is allowing me to feel in a tangible way. Have you been noticing the ways in which you're changing? How you're seeing life differently? How you're reaching a point where you're no longer afraid of what might come next. You might not be excited yet, but you're for sure not afraid. You're in a space of, okay, that was crazy, but I got through it. Okay. I think I can handle whatever comes next. I think I can do it. Yes, you can. You can absolutely do it. Rediscovery in reverse. You've already been introduced to the parts of you that you forgot about. You're not rediscovering it anymore. You're now in a process where you're simply needing to welcome it back home. Welcome it back into the fold. You have the fortitude to get through this part. This is the most challenging part, but you can do it. You're already doing it. You're in the middle of it. You already are. Potential in reverse. Again, there is that thing that is trying to diminish, shrink your potential. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What does that mean for you in your journey? Something's trying to shrink your potential. To me, that means, oh, soul is giving you something to push against. I'm rebellious AF. I am. When you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it while I look at you watching me do it. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Yes. Soul is giving you something to push against. Push against the very thing, the very people, the very circumstance, whatever it is. Use that to get your footing so that you can push against and keep going forward. Right? It's like this visual of reaching the wall of the pool. What do? You just stand there? No more swimming? No. You kick off that side of the pool and you keep going to the next side. And when you reach that wall, you kick off that side and go back to the other side. You keep swimming until you get a good enough workout that you're satisfied and are ready to go home and rest, eat, replenish yourself. Connection. It's time for you to connect the dots and see, what is it that soul is showing you? You're at the finish line. You are almost done. If you don't know what you're finishing up, Now is a perfect time to ask soul to show you, to confirm for you. What are you trying to teach me, soul? What am I supposed to learn here? Am I still on track? You know? I'm trying to be mindful. I'm trying to be mindful. I am. I'm trying to be mindful. Maybe you guys need to hear this. Um, honey, are you on the live stream? For those who are on the podcast, I'm receiving a spam level of notifications. Honey, are you on the live stream? When I say I'm not going to repeat patterns, I'm absolutely not going to repeat patterns, right? I'm seeing a pattern occurring here. I'm absolutely seeing a pattern. And it needs to be halted. So I'm going to share this with you guys first. Let me go ahead and screenshot all of this. Honey, if you could please ban Frankie Patron across all platforms, TikTok included. His behavior is completely inappropriate. He emailed us earlier today as well, and he's just stated that I'm his crush. I'm good. We're not repeating none of that. Please ban him across all platforms. Patron_Frankie or Frankie Patron. I'm not repeating any more cycles. I'm absolutely at the end zone. Yeah, I'm absolutely at the end zone. I will not be repeating any of those patterns. No, no more. Let's get a final card. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. The moment you become ridiculously, undeniably inappropriate with me, you will be banned. I don't have space in my life for any more of that. I will not make excuses for people. Oh, they have no one. Oh, they feel safe with me. That's none of my business. You make me feel uncomfortable. You conduct yourself in an inappropriate manner. You will be banned across all social media. It will be permanent, and I will not welcome you in my space anymore. Never again. That will be permanent in all perpetuity across all platforms. Absolutely. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I practice everything that I preach. Everything that I preach. Yes. And people might be like, oh my God, why would you say his name? These are public posts. If they wanted to obscure their name, they would not comment on public posts. All right, let's get a card. Actually, no, I don't have time. Get one card. Ooh. Card number 36. 3 being the number of a solid foundation from which to receive from soul. Card number 36. The dance unveiling. There's a situation in your life that's about to reveal itself to you with greater clarity. Just like sands shifting, the picture will seem clearer and quite different to how it once appeared to you. This clarity will bring you great relief and confirmation of your intuition. Be patient and allow the revelation to come to you at the perfect time. Often, what we think we know is only a small part of the bigger picture. With some more information, what we think is a truth can shift, sometimes dramatically, and reveal a completely different reality. Sometimes we really imagine a situation, person, or place to be all that we think or feel that it is, only to find that it is not quite that way after some time and involvement has passed. There's an important situation in your life right now that's still unfolding, and you have yet to perceive it fully. So I think for some of us, we don't realize we're literally at that finish line. We're finishing up that difficult cycle. Be careful of choosing options in this period that cause the cycle to be prolonged. It's safe for you to be patient and curious and trust what you feel is unfolding now. Don't rush to set things in motion, to form a structure, or even to make things concrete until you have had a chance to be clearer about this situation or process. There will be a time in the near future when you will realize that the graceful cosmic dance of Kuan Yin has unfolded and a veil has been lifted. At that time, you will realize that you are seeing much more clearly and accurately than you have previously been able to do. Only then will an appropriate course of action or non action will be clear to you. Trying to apply effort to create results before that time will not cause the unveiling dance to unfold more quickly. This is not something you can rush. Be patient and trust. Kuan Yin's dance of divine grace will touch this part of your life and bring you clarity. Go into your heart and listen for the music of her dance. This oracle is also confirmation that something you have recently perceived or will soon perceive is accurate. Mhm. This perception may have been something of a surprise, shock, or stretch for you, and perhaps you're not quite comfortable with its implications as yet. And so you are doubting the veracity of your vision. Be patient and allow yourself to get used to the new truths that are revealing themselves to you now. The dance of Kuan Yin's grace brings not only revelation, but also opportunity and resolution. So there's a resolution that's being put into play. And it would be in your best interest to not prolong things, to not further complicate things. There are those who are trying to ensnare you to keep you from crossing the finish line. They're setting little booby traps. No, thank you. No, thank you. Do not participate. Do not allow yourself to be delayed. Do not rush, but do not allow yourself to be unnecessarily delayed. Allow yourself to continue progressing, unfolding, and receiving guidance from soul. Life's about to change in the most beautiful of ways. Allow that to happen. Allow yourself to welcome back the first stages of your dream life. What if the life you've dreamt of wasn't a dream? What if the life you've dreamt of are simply reminders from soul of the type of life that's worthy of you? Chills, goosebumps, tingles. That's my personal belief. That these snippets of a life I have yet to live, they are not snippets of a life I dream of. They are snippets used as reminders from soul. Keep going. This is what you're working towards. This is an event that will unfold. You are on the right path. Keep going. No, this is not a reward. This is your destined path. So don't be afraid when you begin to see this come to fruition. Okay. For now, I will work on my fear of receiving. For now, I will work on my insecurities that prevent me from moving forward with the level of grace that I need for myself. And for now, I will also celebrate all the little victories that I've been able to create as I go to war with my insecurities. It's not even really a war. It's more like a sit down meeting, like, hey, I know you exist. There's no room for you from this point forward. If you could just have a seat, please. You can watch from the sideline. Insecurity. No, we're not going to destroy you. We're not going to fight. But there's no room for you where I'm headed. Yes, you exist, but you're no longer at the front lines. Sit on the sidelines and just watch as life unfolds. That's a beautiful, beautiful space to be. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. So thank you guys for sharing this space with me. I got to get going. Sessions are starting. If you could please give this video a thumbs up, share it out. If you haven't already subscribed or followed, please do so. And please, I am gradually shifting my primary social media home to TikTok because I'm not shadow banned there. So follow me on TikTok, Emmy Evolving. I'm Emmy Evolving across all social media. Follow me everywhere. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day. Bye, everybody.